Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the ultimate guide for Scum for 1.0. Now, first of all, I know the 1.0 release isn't out yet, but a lot of things in Scum is not going to change, like how to craft a bow, how to craft a stone knife, how to get into an abandoned bunker, how to do the power plant, how to get geared very quickly, how to level up all your skills, how to level up all your tributes. There's a ton of things in Scum that's not going to change. So I am starting the Ultimate Guide series right now, and then hopefully by the time 1.0 comes out, I can just focus on the new things that I need to help you guys with, and that I can spend hundreds of hours to understand and master, and then I can make guides for those as well. But I am mainly planning on just doing a series where I play on one of my servers, and I show you guys how I utilize what I've learned to create the ultimate character. And then I'll stream on Meat Grinder every day when the 1.0 comes out, because I need that hardcore element, because I've got more than 10,000 hours in Scum. I've been running servers, my own servers, for 10 years. I've been playing survival games, I don't know, for the last 10 or 20 years. And yeah, I need to be challenged. But in any case, now that you know who I am, let's get into the first ultimate guide. Now, when you start the game out, it's going to ask you whether you want to start the game in DirectX 9 or DirectX 11 or 12, and it says experimental. And there's another option as well that I can't remember now. But for me, from my experience, DirectX 9 is the way to go. My graphics are good. My graphics settings give me the best look, and a lot of people like the way the game looks with my graphics settings. So I feel DirectX 9 is the way to go. And I feel if you want to experience the beauty of Scum, a 3060 NVIDIA graphics card or an AMD equivalent is necessary, and then maybe like a 3600 or 5600 AMD CPU and an equivalent NVIDIA CPU is what you're going to need. A lot of people struggle with a few things, like when the game has errors or bugs or they can't play. It's very important to update Windows, your graphics card drivers, and just have like an SSD minimum. You don't need to have an NVMe drive, but a solid state drive will help you a lot with load times. And yeah, that's basically what you're going to need. Now, for point number 2, before you start the game, do yourself a favor and just go to options and controls and rebind your keys. Doesn't matter what survival game you've played previously. Scum has a lot of new things that you need to learn, like the crouch key, and to go into first person, you need to press enter, which is very far away from WASD. Okay, so please just go through your controls and rebind your keys to your side mouse, like focus I've got on my side mouse button, to change camera I've got on my side mouse button. Just go and reconfigure your keys, because to run you have to scroll your mouse wheel forward. To auto run you have to hold in shift and press W. There's a lot of things that you're going to have to adapt to when playing Scum. So the best thing you can do is go to those controls and get to a setting that you're happy with. And like I say, the third point, make sure Windows is updated, your graphics drivers are updated, your motherboard, your BIOS is updated. Just make sure that everything's updated, because I've been running servers in Scum for about 5 years, the most problems I've seen is when people don't, update their drivers. And then things start going wrong. And then another massive thing that I can mention right now for you, when it comes to graphics, I don't really care what you choose here, but everyone must put their streaming speed on epic. Okay? The last thing you want is something to spawn in late. You're driving with your vehicle and a rock spawns in late and you lose your vehicle. Or the city that you're driving towards isn't spawning in, and next thing you know, you're inside a house and you can't get your car out of the house. Okay? Streaming speed means how fast do things spawn in front of you. And it doesn't put a massive strain on your PC. So please, whatever you do, go to graphics, put your streaming speed on epic immediately. Now, for point number 4, do research with what communities you're going to join. Single player is a fantastic place to start to learn the game, but Scum is not a game that you can sprint into and sprint out of. Scum is a marathon. There's 1,000 things you have to learn. It is a complicated game. It's not easy to get into, and that's why channels like mine exist, that has played the game for 10,000 hours, that does spend hundreds of hours figuring things out for you and mastering something. So I master the game so that I can help you to enjoy the game. And the only difference between you enjoying this game and not enjoying this game is whether you understand the game's mechanics or you don't. Okay, it can either be a very frustrating experience or it can be a very enjoyable experience. And that's what I specialize in. I specialize in making a game fun. And I'm going to teach you how to have fun. And I'm going to teach you all the knowledge that you need to not struggle with anything. And doesn't matter how many times you get killed and how many times you get raided, I'm going to teach you how to get back onto your feet and keep on running. The next point, if you want to buy supporter packs for Scum, Scum has got a lot of DLCs. Scum itself is not expensive, but if you buy all the DLCs, it does get up to like a AAA games price. So I've already looked at all the supporter packs and the DLCs. I've bought all of them just because I support the game. I've got all the DLC characters, but I don't even use the DLC characters. That's just because I'm supporting the developers. But in my opinion, the 2 DLCs that are the best value for money is basically the Scum Supporter Pack 1 and the Scum Supporter Pack 2. Scum Supporter Pack 1 will give you a watch that you can see what time it is, and you can, when you cook something, you can put a timer on it so it warns you, before you burn the food. Supporter Pack 2 has a photo mode, which is fantastic for screenshots, and it's got some other benefits. But yes, best value for money if you want to buy DLCs and you want to experience everything I'm going to show you, then at least start by the Scum Supporter Pack 1 and the Scum Supporter Pack 2. The rest are also nice, but they're not necessary. Okay? First find out what you want and then you buy it instead of buying it and never using it. For our next point, now comes the point where you're going to come into the game and play for the first time. Now, I don't care what anyone tells you out there. Do you have the freedom to create whatever character you want to create? Yes. If you want to create a fat, clown-looking freak show, go for it. If you want to play with a woman just to see her butt bouncing, do it. But there is an ultimate build in this game. And no other content creator, no other player in Scum is going to convince me otherwise. There is a build that is the most effective and where you will waste the least amount of time to progress in the game. And it will make a lot of the difficult things in the game or the tedious things in the game a lot easier. So I have wiped my test server, like I've done a full wipe on my test server. The test server that we're going to do this ultimate guide on is completely vanilla, except for like 3 things where I made it a little bit harder for myself, like quests. At the moment, you don't have to do quests. You can just buy the quest item and hand it in, and buy the quest item and hand it in. So I don't really like that aspect of the game. I found that out while I'm playing in the Scum Showdown event. So I'm still going to do the quests because I want to show you guys how to have fun. If you want to do stock exchange trading at the trader, that's your choice. I'm here to teach you everything you need to know about the game, and I'm here to be an example of how you can have the most fun in Scum. Okay? So we're going to go to the multiplayer. I'm going to type in LUTH, which is the first 4 letters of my in-game name, and then we're going to see the servers. Now, I've got a test server. I've got a extreme hardcore server for people like me and other people that are insane. I've got a PvE server where you don't have to worry about players killing you, with a fantastic friendly community. I've got Survival Evolved. That's a PvP focused server where you can just kill everyone. And then I've got Live, Die, Repeat, which is a solo duo server, but I am busy revamping all my servers before 1.0. So I've already revamped Meat Grinder. It's just two things that I still have to do at Meat Grinder. But I'm going to revamp all the servers where I talk to the communities, ask them what they need. Like on the PvE server, I don't have a lot of experience there, so I'm going to get all the feedback from my people to tell me what they need. I'm going to unleash PvP carnage on Survival Evolved. And I'm definitely going to revamp that to make it a lot more fun and a lot more action-packed, so I can remove gear fear completely from Survival Evolved, and people can just do what they want to do and shoot each other and not mind losing stuff. And then Live, Die, Repeat is going to be my 50-50 server, where 50% is going to be PvE settings that I increase, so that there's a PvE difficulty to the game. And then the other half of the server will be focused on PvP. But it will Live, Die, Repeat will be my balance server. That's where I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to do the guide on the test server. But once 1.0 comes out, I'm going to play on Live, Die, Repeat every day and literally show you how I do all the things I taught you to create the ultimate base, to create the ultimate character, to show you how much fun you can have in this game if you use all the tools I've given you. My community is extremely friendly. I've got some of the most secure servers out there on Scum. I spend an hour a day checking every single account that joins my servers. Most people get banned before they even join my servers. Okay, so if you want security, if you want friendly people, if you want mature people that can talk to you with respect and that care about one another and that wants to build something special, that protects them from the outside world and the evils that go with it, then you can join my community. But again, do your own research and join the community that you would like to join. Like I say, I'm going to go onto the test server, and because I wiped it and it's completely official, it's going to force me to create a new character. Your name doesn't matter. You can make your name whatever you want. This is the ultimate build. Do not touch anything here. You can read up what strength does. You can read up what constitution does. You can read up dexterity and intelligence. From my 10,000 hours and the fact that I master games, I don't just play them. My passion comes from understanding a game, everything about a game, okay? This is the best build that you can have. Do not touch any of your attributes. I'm not forcing you to do anything. I'm just saying I'm giving you the building blocks to have a great experience. And if you want to follow my advice, then don't touch your attributes. Then, next, I usually put body hair on. I don't play as a female. I don't, want people joining my streams or my videos just to see a butt bouncing. So I play with a male character. I always go for average. With the PP size, I don't really care about that. And then I go next. Here I've always got the same hairstyle that I choose, which doesn't matter. Like here, you can go nuts. I always go for hairstyle number 19. I always go for mustache number 2, and I go for beard number 3. I make my eyes blue and I explode my iris type. And then I'll go for a little bit more brown hair, just to get as close to me as I can. And you can change a lot of things about your complexion and stuff like that. There is a little bit of play around, but I usually don't play with it. Although that guy looks a little bit lighter than the other guy. So I'm actually going to use that complexion. I think that's closer to my complexion. I'm not usually sunburned. But yeah, and then we go next. And this is why you picked 3 right through the board. The best skills to start with in Scum, bar none. If you want to call it a meta build, this is the meta build until the developers change something. You are going to be using rifles most of the time. And you can level up archery very naturally. You can level up handguns. You can level up everything else here very naturally, even melee weapons. The only thing that you're going to have to go out of your way to level up is brawling. But brawling doesn't really matter when you fight puppets or players, okay? Brawling is something you do for fun. But if you want to be effective at the game, you start with advanced rifles because you're going to naturally level up archery. And I'm going to show you how to, have some fun with melee weapons. The reason you take advanced running is because they don't give you all the information here. But when you go into the game, you will see that advanced running lets you use 30% less stamina when you run. And you are going to run. As soon as we hit the ground, we are running, okay? You are going to run. You can dream about driving a car your entire life, but most of the time in Scum, you're going to run. It's a survival game. It's not Formula 1 or MotoGP, although sometimes it feels like it, okay? Or sometimes it feels like Destruction Derby. But you take running because this enables you to run 15% faster, jog 15% faster, and use 30% less stamina. Where endurance only helps you to recover your stamina faster and you use less water and energy, which isn't important because I'm going to show you how to level this up naturally. I can't show you how to level this up naturally. You're going to have to run your butt off, okay? So rather start with advanced running because there's another level that you can't see. I'm letting you take the skill to advanced, but the skill can go to advanced plus. The skill actually ends here, but you have to level that up in game, okay? So don't go like, no, I'll level up running later, or I want to level up running. Yes, you will be able to level up running because there's a hidden bar year. This line can go up to year because actually I put the line here because to get to advanced running is only 1 million experience points. To get to advanced plus running is 10 million experience points, okay? Just trust me on this. Then, when it comes to dexterity skills, there's an argument to go for stealth, and there's an argument to go for driving because you don't want to struggle when you start your first vehicle. But again, trust me on this, just take advanced thievery. At the moment, thievery is completely overpowered in this game. It affects way too many things in the game. Like a person with advanced thievery can raid much easier. They can get uranium much easier. They can get hazmat suits much easier. They can get weapons much easier. They get shorter times on keypads. It's just, there's so many things connected to thievery, guys. I will rather level up the other skills. Like I like demolition, but I can level up demolition without jumping off a bridge or throwing my PC out of the window, okay? If you're not good at lockpicking, you will throw your PC or your keyboard out of the window, okay? This is not for everyone. So take this to advanced and I'll show you how to level up the rest. Then at intelligence, without a shadow of a doubt, there is a way to level up medical, but it's not natural. There's no natural way to level up medical fast, and you can't AFK the skill. So you have to like physically do it. So advanced medical is the way to go. You'll get hurt by puppets. You'll get hurt by sentries. You'll get hurt by players. And the last thing you want is when you've got an injury for the game to tell you must use 5 bandages instead of 1 bandage. So advanced medical helps you to use way less material to heal your injury, and you will heal faster, okay? And all the other things, I'm going to teach you how to level that up naturally, okay? So this is the best build, bar none. 3 to all your tributes, advanced rifles, advanced running, advanced thievery, advanced medical, and let's go on the journey. Now, before I go into the map, always look for a forest area because you need bushes, rocks, and trees close to you when you land. And you don't want to land in a town or a military point of interest or on top of a sentry. So we're going to start now. We're going to be skydiving. And what I'm going to be looking for immediately is just a forest area. I don't want to land inside the trees. I want to land next to the trees where I've got cover. And I'll be looking for a bush in an open field where I know there will be rocks, so that I can craft the basic survival gear that I need to start my journey. So that's what we're going to be looking for. Okay, let's go. So I'm just going to set the time to 8. I'm looking around me. I see trees. So I'm going to head there where there's a lot of cover in front of me. Okay. And then when I'm about this height, I'm going to press F to open my parachute. And then I'm going to go into first person and aim for a bush like that, because I know there will be rocks close to the bush. Here's the bush we need. There's the rocks we need. There's the tree we need. Okay. Those are the basics. Now I'm just going to put the sound up for you guys again. Okay. And I'm going to give you guys a bunch of steps. None of these videos are going to be very long. I'm going to be very focused with what I'm telling you. I am, for the first time, actually going to strip my videos and plan my thoughts ahead so I don't ramble. Okay, because I like talking. I actually talk too much. That's what I'm famous for. But in any case, the first thing you do is you craft a stone knife with 2 rocks. How do you find a rock? Well, you look at the ground. It says you look for rocks. You search the rocks. Okay. You destroy your bank card every single time you land. And then you click on 2 rocks with your left mouse button. You right click and you say craft stone knife. When you're done, you can either right click and take in hands, or you can drag it to your hands. Okay, we're just going to right click and take in hands. Then we're going to go to another stone pile, search this stone pile again, click on 2 rocks, right click, and then go craft small stone axe head. Then we're again going to put the stone knife in our hand, and we're just going to double click the small stone axe head because there'll be space in our pants. Now we're going to walk to the bush and we're going to press F to cut the bush down with the stone knife. If you land in the snow area and you don't see any bushes, you will have to look for small little trees that when you walk to the small little tree with your stone knife, you'll have an option to cut the small little tree down. Okay, so when you're in the snow, you could land in a place where there's no bushes, but there will be small little trees that you can cut down with a stone knife. You're going to have to cut it down twice to get the sticks that we need. And you might find a bush and you follow the same steps. After I've cut down the bush, it will usually only give me 1 long stick and a few short sticks. In this case, it gave me 2 long sticks, which is lucky, but you won't always be lucky. So rather cut down 2 bushes so that you're sure you have enough resources. So with your stone knife in your hand, you're going to right click the long wooden stick and you're going to say cut into small sticks. Now that we have 5 small sticks in our vicinity, you can go to the crafting tab, and at the top is all categories. It will show you everything that you can craft in the game. Then on the second category is favorites. So you can like favorite a certain item, okay, that you're going to craft a lot. But the thing that everyone uses the most is currently craftable. And what this tab does is it studies what you have in your vicinity and tells you what you're able to craft with the items in your vicinity. And that's what people use most. So we're going to click on currently craftable. It's going to tell us we can craft an arrow with a stick. We can craft a wooden spear with a long stick. We can craft rope. We could craft a fire drill. We can craft some tinder, and we can even bundle some of the small sticks into a bundle. We are going to need a rope. And as soon as you click on the rope, it shows you what you need to craft the rope. So if you don't want to use the crafting menu, you can always just remember, hey, I need 5 sticks to craft a rope. But remember, it's not only the 5 sticks, it's the stone knife as well. So if you want to do what I did with the rocks, you're going to have to click on the stone knife and click on the 5 small sticks and then craft your rope. So in that case, this option is better. You can auto craft, like craft a bunch of stuff, automatically, or you can craft a single item, or you can go to details to see what you're going to need to craft that item. In this case, we can only use small sticks, and we need 5, and then we need any cutting tool. Craft that rope. So we're going to craft a rope. Now that we've crafted the rope, you can go to crafting again and new options are going to pop up. Now that you've got a rope, you can craft a bow, but you're not going to craft a bow now. You're going to craft the stone axe. And the stone axe needs the small stone axe head that we crafted at the start, a long stick or a short stick. Okay, so you've got a choice, and rope, which we did craft a tree bark rope. So we're going to craft the stone axe. Now, the reason I focus on a stone axe immediately is because it's a defensive item. I can actually hurt something now. I can actually defend myself now. Okay. And the other thing is, I don't like being in the open like this. Okay. I like to be in the forest where there's cover, where I know there's not a lot of people there. Okay. So I'm going to run into the forest. That's why we wanted to land close to a forest. And then I'm going to cut down a tree with the axe. Cut down tree, and I can cut it down because of the axe. You cannot cut a tree down with a stone knife. Okay, so press F to cut the tree down with a stone axe. Now, because of the axe, when you cut down a tree, you're going to have logs that you can cut down into planks, and you'll have one tree branch from a tree that you can cut up into sticks. And that's the main reason for us cutting up the tree. We want this branch. And then we're looking for that little 45-degree stick there. If you look at the one end of the branch, it's very, it's almost pointy. And the other side of the branch has this little stick going nowhere. Okay. And the sticks are going to go in the direction of that little branch, that's going its own way. So I just pointed in that direction. And then I'm going to cut down this branch into sticks. There you guys can see the sticks went in the direction that I said. And this is why it's better to get an axe, because look at all the sticks that we have now. We don't have to cut down multiple bushes to get sticks to craft rope and arrows and stuff like that. I just use the branch much faster. I usually walk until I see the short sticks, because you will see at the end of the branch, it's got short sticks, and the beginning is a bunch of long sticks. So I like to stand at the short sticks, and then I want to cut exactly 5 long sticks into short sticks. I have perfected this. If you want more than 12 arrows, you can cut more long sticks. But because you're going to do this a lot, because you're going to die a lot, and because you're going to start over a lot, you like to save as much time as you can over the long run. So I go and stand at the short sticks, and then I cut exactly 5 long sticks into short sticks, because I know exactly how many short sticks I'm going to need for everything that I'm going to craft. So right click, cut into small sticks, and we're going to do this 5 times. Now, you've got a few options. Your axe is more than enough to defend yourself, but if you don't like the range of the axe, or you don't feel like the axe does enough damage for you, you can always cut up one of the logs into planks and then craft a club, a wooden club with the plank. And then when you find a nail out in the world, upgrade the plank to a plank with nails, and that will do more damage than the axe. But we've got better options when it comes to melee weapons. So now that I've cut up 5 long sticks into short sticks, I've got the resource underneath me that I need. And the first thing I'm going to do, because of the DLCs I've bought, I've got a special undershirt, and I've got a willy warmer, but I'm going to try and think about what you guys have. So the best thing you can do is cut up your undershirt immediately, right click, cut up the undershirt with your axe, which should give you 2 rags, and you need 3 rags. So now whatever else you want to cut up is your choice. Like usually you have to cut up the boxer briefs, but I don't like the willy warmer, so I'm just going to cut that one up. So there we go. I only need 3 rags, but I've got 4 rags in my vicinity right now. So what I'm going to do now is go craft the rope. I'm going to craft, I actually need 2 rope. So I can actually just go auto craft, that it crafts 2 rope for me, because I need a rope for my backpack and a rope for the boat. Okay, I have stopped the process. As soon as the auto crafting crafted 2 ropes for me, there's a little hourglass here in the middle. You click on it to cancel it, so it doesn't keep crafting rope forever. And now with the rope and the rags, I can craft an improvised courier backpack, which gives me inventory space, which is very needed. Now that you've crafted the backpack, you get an introduction into how loot works. You can see the improvised career backpack here, and you can see it at the top. Okay? Now, if you double click the backpack at the top, you're going to equip it. If you double click it at the bottom of this white line, it's just going to open up the inventory. Okay, so I can open up the inventory and close the inventory in the bottom line. So when you kill someone or when you loot something, basically when you kill someone, it's nice to be able to go through their clothing very quickly and loot whatever you need to loot. And then it's nice to have an option here, so you can just double click to equip the backpack. And now that we've already got a rope, now we can craft a bow. Now, I usually go for the 35-pound bow because I'm very good with a bow, but I want you guys to start with the 20-pound bow because I'd like you guys to kill puppets that are quite close to you. I don't want you to kill puppets 100 meters away and miss a lot of arrows and waste a lot of arrows. I'm going to teach you how to let the puppet get really close to you and some tactics how to kill puppets without getting hurt. And then once we hit basic archery, because we're going to level up our archery, just like I told you before. Like we took advanced rifles, but we're not done with advanced rifles. We must still go to advanced plus, which will take 10 million experience points. Okay, we took advanced, but there's more. You know, we can gain 10 times more experience because it only takes 1 million experience points to get to where we are now. It's going to take a lot more to get further. Same with the running. We can still level up running. Same with the thievery. Same with the medical. And everything we've done so far has leveled up our survival skill by 11%, our awareness skill by 8%, and we didn't really run, so nothing leveled up there. And we're going to level up all of these when we interact with puppets. So I want you to start by crafting a 20-pound bow, and you can reward yourself when you hit basic archery, and then you can go up to a 35-pound bow if we haven't found a better bow. Now, as you can see, you've got an inventory slot, you've got a crafting slot, you've got a health slot, you've got a metabolism slot, which might seem overwhelming, but I don't want you to focus on any of these things. I'm going to explain all of these things to you in detail through this series. Don't overwhelm yourself with that. What I'm thinking of is, why is that? So if you're playing the game, you're going to go, why is that red? Well, the reason why that is red is your standard body temperature. The body temperature that you're aiming for is 36.6. So we are starting to get cold. And it says there, we're feeling cold. But because we've got an extra rag, we can craft rag gloves, which is going to add heat for us because every item of clothing has a heat signature. So that backpack's giving us 2 heat. The shirt's giving us 1, the pants 2, shoes 2, 1, and 3. There's items that can give you up to 5 heat. So managing your clothing to manage how hot or cold you get is going to be very important because there's hot areas and there's cold areas in the game. But again, we'll go into that later. So for now, I'm just going to craft the rag gloves to add some heat, and running heats you up as well. We're standing still. That's also a reason why we're getting cold. It's because we're standing still. As soon as we start running, our blood starts flowing and we're going to heat ourselves up naturally. But I still like what the rag gloves look like, so I'm going to craft one. Okay, again, I'm going to double click the rag gloves. Now it's equipped. And now I'm going to put I can either right click, okay, and take in hands, or I can just drag it to my second slot. You've got 2 primary slots. This is what you're going to have in your hand. This is what you're going to have on your back, and these are your quick slot bars, which you will use for a knife and a pistol and a grenade and food and water, so you don't have to go to your backpack and right-click and drink. You can put your water and food and your medical supplies on your quick slots, so you can eat them or take them on the run. Now, all we need is arrows, and because of my perfect calculations, we'll be able to craft 12 arrows, no problem. So we're going to press autocraft until we've got 12 arrows. And there we go. That is perfect because I'll be able to put 12 arrows into my backpack that will only take up 3 slots. And if I equip my bow, I'll be able to equip one of the arrows. Now we've got nothing left. We didn't waste anything. We did everything perfectly. Okay? And now we are ready for our journey. If you guys enjoyed this video, do me a favor and click that like button. If you've got any questions, leave it down in the comments below. At the end of every video, I'll take a screenshot of the character, and that will be our thumbnail, so that you guys can see the progress that our character is going through. You might say, well, you're going to run out of thumbnails because at some point you're going to get fully geared. Yes, we will be fully geared at some point, but then we start taking pictures of us at the power plant. And we start taking pictures of us at the base while we're building the base. And then we start taking pictures of us, leveling up our tributes. So the thumbnails I'm going to be using just to showcase where we are at the end of the video. Okay, so that people can see whether they're interested in that certain aspect or not. But congratulations on taking your first steps on this journey, ladies and gentlemen. I am very excited for Scum 1.0. I think it's going to kick ass. And doesn't matter what happens, I'm still going to learn everything. I'm still going to make sure I master everything. And this is going to be a fantastic ride. And without a shadow of a doubt, Scum is the best next generation survival game in the world at the moment. And that's just my opinion. Love you guys. Don't forget to click that like button. And if you want to see future videos, make sure to click that subscribe button. My Discord link is down below with the best community and the friendliest community you've ever come across. Before you join my servers, make sure you join the Discord in case you get banned, because there's rules. There's very strict rules on my servers, which you need to read through before you join my servers. And yes, welcome to the Dream Team. Welcome to Immersive Gaming. See you next time. Cheers.